Hello, my friends. Happy Tuesday. Hope you are all doing well. I'm just going to give myself a second here to pull up the comment section on my screen here. Just one second. There we go. There we go. Happy Tuesday, my friends. Today is Tuesday, March 25th, and welcome back to another episode of Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jenny. For those of you that are new to my page, my name is Tammy Savello, and welcome to Cards by TLC. This week, Jenny and I are doing a super fun sketch challenge. It's been a while since we've done a sketch challenge, and typically we do them out of the annual catalog. But today we are doing this sketch this sketch challenge out of the January to April mini catalog. And the sketches can actually be found on page 12. And we thought this one would be a fun sketch. So this is our cute little design. I am using the More Than a Year stamp set that can be found in the mini catalog as well. This super cute stamp set can be found on page 59. Look how adorable it is. A cute little pug. Some candles birthday, some wine and cheese, really fun punny sentiments. I'm also pairing it with this designer paper. I absolutely love this. I think I'm on my second pack of this. But this is the Timeless Plaid, and these are the two designs that we are using today. I thought it'd be fun to do a more masculine card since I didn't have many of those. And look how cute. We are creating the cute little pug card. And then I just did the birthday cake on the inside. And we are decorating our envelope today. So let us go ahead and get started. Let me grab my piece of paper here. We have our top folding card base in boho blue. I am going to cry when this goes away. This is one of the outgoing 2023-2025 in colors. And this is in boho blue, and it's cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. I have my two pieces of basic white card panels cut at 4 by 5 1/4, one for the front and one for the inside. And then I have the largest stylish shaped circle to stamp my image on, and we're going to do some coloring today. And then I just have a piece of scrap that I stamped the sentiment, and we are going to do some fussy cutting today. But we're going to go ahead and get started and start off by cutting our designer paper. Now, don't worry, as always, the sizes and dimensions will be on my blog post tomorrow at cardsbytlc.com. So be sure to check that out, but I will go over the sizes as we do our cutting. We are actually going to be taking a 6x6 piece of this designer paper, and we're going to cut that down to 3.5, leaving a 2.5-inch piece of designer paper for our envelope that we're going to be using. Put that off to the side, and then we'll cut this piece down to 5. So 3.5 by 5. And then this piece, we are going to be cutting this at 2.5 by 4. So 2.5, this is a great strip to use for another project, by 4. And that is the piece that's going to go on top. So what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to bring in my paper snips. And we're going to do this background banner piece. I'm going to go ahead and just take that and cut that right up the middle. And depending on how deep you want your banner is how high you're going to want to cut. So I'm just going to go up the middle and meet up with those cut lines. Come on. There we go. And there is our cute little banner piece. And then we are going to go ahead and do our stamping. and coloring. I'm going to bring in my stylish shapes circle, and then we're going to go ahead and stamp that in Memento Block ink because we're going to be coloring with some of our blends today. Okay, our cute little pug. And then I'm going to kind of stamp him kind of in the center here. There we go. And then let's go ahead and stamp our birthday cake while we're at it. I did that on the inside piece right there, and we'll do some coloring. I haven't had a chance to play with this stamp set yet, and it was really cute, and I knew I wanted to play with this, and this layout and sketch is the perfect layout for this stamp set. Because the circle can be our focal points and whatnot. So let's go ahead and start coloring. We're going to start off by coloring our hat. And I'm going to use boho blue, light boho blue. This is light night of navy. Hold please. I thought this was boho. Thought it was a little dark there for that was a little dark, but it actually worked. I think I might actually go ahead and keep that. But we do have light boho blue. Maybe we'll just go ahead and do it just to be different. I thought it was a little dark on the original. So I'm just going to come in and do, yeah, that one's cute. We'll just put the dark night of navy off to the side. Had it in the wrong spot there. And then I'm just going to do some of the lines on his party hat. And then come in with my light real red. There we go. So cute. And then our light pretty in pink for his tongue. And then there's so many different colors that you can color your pug, grays, whites. I just went with the traditional tan with the darker nose area. And I did dark smoky slate, and I did crumb cake. Here we go. So I did dark smoky slate and light and dark crumb cake for our puppy. Cute little pug. They're so cute. But poor little guys can't really breathe very well. I'm just coming in and doing some darker outlines where the artist has the natural lines. Then I'm going to come in and color his nose area. For like the traditional dark nose area for the puggy. And then I'm going to come in with my light crumb cake and color the rest of him. Maybe come in with a little bit more dark. Again. And just darken that up. Go back in with another round of blending just to darken up his body. Cute. And then I have some light gray granite, and I'm just gonna come in and do just a little like ground area for him where he's sitting, like a little shadowing. So cute. And then I'm gonna come in, our little pug is done. Let's come in and color our birthday cake. We have dark and light pecan pie. And then we have our crumb cake. And we are doing the frosting in light balmy blue. And then I went ahead and did use that dark Night of Navy, but I'm going to go ahead and do boho, and then my candles are in yellow. I don't know, Debbie, why were you cleaning house instead of watching me color? I'm happy to have you here, my friend. I always keep you from doing housework, right? I have to do some housework after I'm done playing with you guys, so I'll be joining the houseworking party. And then I'm just going to do the candles here in Dark Daffodil Delight. And then we have light balmy blue for our frosting. Since we're making a more masculine card, if it was a girl puggy, we would do pink frosting. And then I did some shading with originally the light Night of Navy, but I'm going to go ahead and do the light boho blue and just kind of darken the frosting area. Go. And I'll go back in with my lighter balmy. Let's darken up. There we go. And then for the frosting, I'm going to go ahead and do pecan pie for a chocolate cake. Come in with the light pecan pie. And then we'll go back up and darken up the layers again. Come back in with the dark. There we go. And then that way you can see that dimension. And then we'll come in with the light and dark of our crumb cake for the plates. A blue plate would have been fun too. If you are live in the chat or watching the replay, I would love to know, since we're kind of on the topic of cake, what your favorite flavor of cake is. I'm going to have to say, growing up, my mom always made me fruit cakes for my birthday because my birthday is in August, but my favorite cake of all time is German chocolate cake. I love German chocolate cake. And I also like a yellow or white cake with chocolate frosting. So those are my two favorites. But my mom always loved making me a fruit cake. I think that was probably her favorite. And so she wanted to make her favorites. But I would love to know, especially if you're watching the replay, what your favorite flavor of cake is. There is our inside. And then we are going to layer that. Again, this is 4 by 5 1/4. With basic white. And then our designer paper originally started out at 3.5 by 5, and I cut up the banner. And we're going to go ahead and adhere that to our front piece. Just like so. This is such a fun little sketch. And then this is 2.5 by 4. That's gonna go right on top of there. And then we have our little pug. And then we have to stamp our sentiments and fussy cut that out. And the sentiment that I'm using is happy birthday, now back to me. There's some cute, funny sentiments in this stamp set. Really punny. Lemon cake with buttercream. Oh. Lemon cake with buttercream frosting. Okay. Yum. And then chocolate cake with buttercream vanilla frosting. Oh my god. Okay. I like the way you think. One for breakfast and one for lunch. Love that. Love it. So growing up, Bill Cosby always did a funny song like Mom is Great. She made a chocolate cake, and then like it's got eggs and milk in it. So that was always our joke in our house because it had eggs and milk. It could be eaten for breakfast. There were many times we had cake for breakfast. And there is our cute little sentiments. And we are going to pop that up with some foam. I have some foam adhesive sheet pieces here. or some Stampin' Dimensionals. You can pop that up. And then we are going to bring in some linen thread. And put our... Now, here's a tip. When you pull this off of the spool, it keeps it like it's coiled. So a fun tip that I learned from my friend Melanie, who was in the surgical unit in our hospital, they just tug at it and it straightens out that twine. So I'm going to double up a bow. We're going to actually tie a bow on camera, and we know how that usually works out. Not too bad this time. Then I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail there. And then we got to do the envelope. I forgot about the envelope. Gotta do the envelope. And I don't know where my glue dots are, so I'm just gonna do a little tacky of my seal. There is our card. So cute. He's so cute. And then we're gonna go ahead and decorate our envelope with that 2.5-inch strip that I had left over. And this is 2.5 by 6. Now what I like to do with my envelope is I like to fold it in where the flap is like that. And then I just add my liquid glue. You can use Seal or Seal Plus, whatever adhesive you'd like to use. I like to use the liquid just because it allows a little bit more wiggle room on that. And then I just butt that up with the top of the card. I'm glad you like that tip. I learned that tip from my friend Melanie Hawken, who, like she said, she works in the surgical department, and they do that all the time to straighten out their thread. Then I'm just gonna trim that around. And we have a cute matchy of our card. There we have it, my friends. There is our cute little birthday card with the matching envelope. And again, this came from sketches that are on page 15. Is it 15? What page were we on? Page 12, sorry. Sketches on page 12, and we did this sketch right here. Really cute. Now, that is it for me today. Be sure that Jenny's actually not going to be live on Facebook today, but she did do a project, so be sure to head over to my blog tomorrow at cardsbytlc.com. I'll have my project. I'll have a link to Jenny's project that leads to her blog post. She just won't have a video that coordinates with it this week. She's visiting her sister in Texas, having some family time, so we love that for her. And then my project and the replay of this video will be on the blog post at cardsbytlc.com tomorrow, March 26th. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm going to go out for a nice walk because we are having amazing weather here in Northern California. And I will see you all next time for more creative fun. Bye, everyone.